Hello and welcome in today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel, and also Sean. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Sean.
Sean. Cool. Awesome.
Mhm.
Bianchi. Is that how you say it as well?
Close. Yeah, so Sean Bianchi.
Awesome. Sean Bianchi. And you're an awesome artist slash YouTuber, art mentor. And you have a lot
Thanks.
of artwork here on your Instagram. I think you have and YouTube, obviously. Do you have any other links and things?
Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. So obviously, like you said, I have an Instagram, I have my YouTube channel, I also have my DeviantArt. I have my ArtStation page too. So those are kind of my big four. I have a Twitter account as
Awesome.
well. I always forget about that one.
Yep. Awesome. Well, if you want, those links will be down in the description. Most of those, so you can go check those out. Yeah, welcome in. Can you tell me a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, sure. My pleasure, man. So, yeah, my name is Sean Bianchi, just like you introduced me. So, I am an illustrator. I'm also a public teacher. I teach high school art. I've been teaching for the last 12 years. I've been teaching high school at that level, taught all different types of media across that board, too. And I'm also a YouTuber, and I'm also an art mentor, just like my channel name suggests. Aside from that, too, I'm also a doctoral student. So I'm currently pursuing my doctorate degree.
Oh, wow. Um, and actually doctoring. Like,
Terminal degree is in doctor. I am
oh,
not a
okay.
master of, physical science. I am not the person you come to when, hey, what is this? Does this skin thing look bad? That's not me.
Yeah. Yeah, I see, I see. Yeah. It's funny because one of my teachers was doing that too. They were on the side they were doing a doctor. I didn't know until a little bit later they were actually studying at the kind of same time they were teaching us. And it's like, oh, now I'm a doctor. It's like, oh wow.
Yeah,
It-
I know that's going to be weird for me someday when my students have to call me doctor, but I'm rather looking forward to that.
When it comes to class and it's like, don't say that, say doctor. This.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a doctor of I think glass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Doctor of Glass. Doctor of like glass sculpting and things like that. So she was really good at that stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome to hear. It's something different. You always think, oh, PhD, doctor. There's only one thing for
Mhm.
that, but you can have it in many different ways. That title.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like Doctor of Glass, like that's kind of almost comical sounding in just the term, just like the title. It's like, what? They
Yeah.
do that nowadays? I mean, yeah, I guess you can get it in anything. My specific title will be Doctor of Education
Hmm.
because I'm my focus area is curriculum studies.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think it's simple as that, like Doctor Glass, but it's
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, let's hope that they came up with a wordsmithier title than that, right?
yeah. Awesome. So I was wondering, were you originally went to course, student, or did you just learn everything yourself in terms of art?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question, and thanks for asking. So for me personally, like I am one of the people that did go to school. I'm a teacher in the United States, so you have to. You have to have a degree, or you have to be in the pursuit of a degree. So for me, my bachelor's is in teaching art. My master's is in teaching art as well. So I've got a good round through the higher education institution program of the United States. And aside from that, though, I would say that I've always been like, even if you're in a university setting or if you're not, like, if you are serious about being an artist, like, you need to consider yourself a student of the art and of the arts. And for me personally, like, I've been always having my own projects. I've always done my own stuff. I've always been trying to learn myself. Ever since I was a kid, and I mean, everybody has it so easy nowadays comparatively, because nowadays we have like free websites for resources and like 3D models. You can look up stuff, so you don't have jacked up anatomy on your characters you're trying to draw for the first time. And we have YouTube, of course, so we have all these great resources. But I grew up with that, like we grew up with the books, and God forbid you had the How to Draw Manga book. You ever see that one?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like those things. So that, and so I'm very traditionally trained, like drawing, painting, realism kind of stuff. Although my main interests have always kind of differed. Like when I was in high school, I was really heavy into like anime and manga, and then when I went to college, I got really enamored with sculpture. And then when I was done with college, I started to pick up digital art, and I'm entirely self-taught when it comes to digital art and illustration.
Hmm. Yeah. It's fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. That sounds like a cool little journey there.
Yeah.
Um,
Say it one more time.
yeah, it sounds like a cool little journey there.
Say it again.
Oh, did you hear me?
No, I didn't. Sorry, you broke up there for a second.
Yeah. I said that sounds like a cool little journey there.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, for the last like 10-ish years, I've been really focused on digital art, and I think this is where I'm making my home.
Awesome. Yeah. I do have, for me, I have some background. I've done like 5 years in, kind of design courses.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of the things I did have to learn myself. We did do a bit of kind of drawing, how to draw and things like that. Um, but kind of, I think there was only one teacher that taught us that could actually draw really well, and I was surprised. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because this teacher that I, you know, grew up with, I didn't know he had like really good drawings till a couple of
Mm-hmm.
years later. Because most of them,
Yeah.
you didn't see them draw. They just gave you tips, and one of them was openly blunt, being like, "I can't draw to save my life, but I can give you as many tips and their things as possible because, yeah, they used to draw, but now they can't, kind of a thing." And
Yeah.
um,
I say that's definitely like a sad part of a lot of art teachers, is that they kind of like fall out of the routine of making art themselves. And
mm,
I'm going to say that that's, I mean, just to like pierce the veil on, what this looks like from the other end of the classroom, because, everybody can easily critique any education because everybody has to go through it. But just to sitting across on the other side of this table too, I really see it as a very sad thing when art teachers or art professors or whomever is teaching, when they stop making their own art. And I've always cited, I think like that is literally the beginning of the death of your career. And like when you stop making artwork, you stop remembering why you love it and why it's so enjoyable for you. And it's so important. I always tell like new art teachers, like you have to make time to do it
mm,
yourself. It is so important.
yeah, it's awesome when the teacher can draw along with you or just sit there and
Hmm.
draw with you. It's a great feeling because you can see what they're doing. You can see, um, that it kind of gives you that feeling you're not just in it on yourself. Um,
Yeah, and I think it adds and it lends credibility to the instructor when a student can like look at them and be like, "Wow, okay, well they can do this. I should listen up. I should pay attention to it."
hmm, yeah. It makes things easier too because they can see, oh, what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Master Chef or something.
Right, right, right.
Awesome. Yeah. But cool. But self-taught for digital illustration.
Hmm.
Where'd you go for that? Like, how did you kind of learn?
So yeah, so that's a good one too. So um, basically, let's see. I was like in my master's program, and I had an elective, and I decided to do an independent study because I really wanted to learn how do you do all this cool art on computers, and like it was pretty fresh and new to me. I just got like my first Wacom tablet, and I was like really eager to do it, and I was like, oh, this would be awesome if I can get a credit for it too. So I did that, and basically I learned how to digitally paint through controlpaint.com. Have you ever heard of that before? Pretty big website.
Oh, there's a website.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
controlpaint.com had like a lot of great resources and tutorials, and I would just like watch them on repeat all the time. Like I would paint something and I would watch it again. I would paint something, I would watch it again. And then I also just like followed a couple of YouTube channels, and I would just watch that. Now, I mean, my background, like I have loads of experience with Photoshop, so the only thing I really had to learn that was new to me was just the digital painting end of it. And then I would say like from there, I've grinded out a lot of hours of time to get to my current proficiency level where I am, and I'm still like really trying to strive to do much better than where I am right now. But I'm going to say I'm in a state of positive dissatisfaction. Like I'm happy where I am, but I'm also like, I could be a little bit better. But I mean, that's just what comes with the internet, right? And then I started to really like 4 or 5 years ago, like pay attention to like a lot of big YouTubers. I watched Feng Zhu. Like Feng Zhu is like he is my mentor that doesn't even know he's my mentor. He's awesome. Like especially when I learned about design and character design and what goes into a good concept and what concept art is versus illustration. I watched Trent Kanuga a lot too. Mark Brunet. I'm big time into watching like concept artists because they can just grind out like crazy proficient pieces in a little amount of time.
Mm,
And that is really literally what I'm trying to attain the level of to the best of my ability.
awesome. Definitely, they can. I watched one and I was just amazed. Um, yeah, how much they achieved. There was one. I remember his name now, but he's worked on like Ratchet and Clank and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he does YouTube, beer illustrations, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
He has a beer logo. I know that much. Um, Something like that. Anyway, you'll be able to find it if you look that up. Anyway, um,
Yeah.
but he's an awesome YouTuber, slash Twitch streamer. I don't know if he does it all the time, but um, yeah, just watching one of his videos because it was part of the Schoolism Lightbox Expo.
Oh, okay.
And I was just switched to watching it, and within an hour and a half, I was blown away with what he drew. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
he can achieve that within. It's only been 2 or 3 hours, and he can achieve that. Um, you know, it looks like something that would take me a couple of weeks to do.
I know.
um,
Yeah. It's crazy. But it's impressive. Like to me, it's like inspiring. Like, wow, a human being can do that. Okay. I
mm,
guess I can start to learn how to do it too.
yeah. And nowadays at the moment, I record, how kind of long things take me. Um, I'm aiming
Mm-hmm.
for doing at least 10 hours of these illustrations a week that I do. Um, so, now I'm recording it. I'm really showing how much time I'm actually spending on these paintings. It's really, really helpful to do that because now I know, um, this painting, I've gone to this stage at 90 minutes. I'm like, wow, I'm actually like surprised I got to this stage within that, you know. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel the same way too. Like ever since I started recording myself on speed paints, like I really see like where my time goes, and I'm almost like trying to gauge, how did I do better on this one? Did I do better on that one? Of course, for speed painting, like it makes it look like I spent 20 hours and 5 minutes, but that's just the way it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's helped me just doing this, just recording how long it takes me to do things and getting that 10 hours in each week. Um I think it's
Mm-hmm.
really helped me to improve my art in that what sense. Yeah. as well as doing these 90-minute art challenges I've been doing. Do those every week or so. Just depends when I fit them in my schedule.
Yeah, yeah, that's a tough one. I hear you on that. I'm like always swamped. I've been really swamped with clients for like the last, you know, 2 years. Have been really consistently taking on stuff, so it's really difficult for me to work in time to like do something that I just want to do, or I have to like do it in like 20-minute segments. I can do a little bit here and
Mm,
there.
awesome. Yeah. Well, whatever works. 90 minutes works for me because it only for me sacrifices like one night's worth of work. Um,
Yeah,
because I mainly do, work at night. Um,
I'm the same way. That's so funny.
so I could just be like, oh, I'll block out that time to do my 90 minutes, and that way it's done. So it only sacrifices like one night's worth of work, or I can chew one out on the weekend or something like that. Um,
Hmm.
if I haven't got a lot on, I can just chew one out, and it's all good. Um,
Yeah. I'm curious, is drawing at night just like, is that your on time? Is that just when it just comes best and fresh to you? Or is it like, you do your stuff during the day and then this is like what you're doing at night?
yeah, well, at the moment I'm just full-time working. Um,
Hmm.
it's just a general laborer kind of a thing. um,
Yep. No shame in that,
so
man.
yeah, pay the bills. Um,
Yep.
so at night's the only time I do. I mean, I have switched it around before and did like early morning before I go to work kind of a thing. Um, but I feel that way I don't get much in. I have distractions in the morning because
Hmm.
in the morning I have a daughter, she might be up or something um
Hmm.
earlier, and then you sort of disturb me and all that stuff. So if she's in bed, it's much easier. I can just relax and do it. Um,
Yeah, same with me. Like with my kids, like I can't do anything if they're around. I have to make sure that they're asleep before I can do anything. Like I just need to sit down. I need hard focus.
hmm. Yeah, it's worked in the past where I've woken up early instead. Um,
Hmm.
but it's just I went to go and try it again, and I was like, nah, I give up. I like my
Yeah.
nights, and it works best for me. Sometimes I'm tired, but that's the way of it all. Sometimes, um,
Yeah, sometimes like I feel the same way too, and I'll be really tired when I sit down, and I like kind of have to force myself to start. But then once I do, it's almost like I don't want to stop. Is it
yeah,
like that for you too?
yeah, it can be just getting that
Yeah.
start out. Um, and sometimes I do just have to take them off, have a relaxing night or something. Um,
Hmm.
it's the way it works sometimes, but yeah, just getting into it. I think once I get stuck into it, it's like I don't want to stop sometimes, and it gets a
Yeah.
little bit late, on the late side of painting. Um, so yeah, always.
Yeah, I'm there too. Like it's so important to just like have a night off every once in a while, do something fun. You have to walk away from it a little bit. I mean,
Mm,
art's amazing. It's so cool to be able to do it. It's so cool to be able to do it and like get paid for it. But if you just inundate yourself with it, it just becomes drudgery, and that's when people start to burn out and quit.
yeah, exactly. And I think that's another thing with the me doing just 10 hours a week goes, because I
Hmm.
can be like, oh, okay, you know, I've already done my 10 hours this week. It's Friday. I can just relax right now. It's okay. Um, you know,
Yeah, and I
yeah.
mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, really, like psychologically and developmentally, the way it works is it doesn't matter how much time you put into it. It matters how much intention you put into it, and
Mm,
that's like the science of learning. And a lot of people think that, well, I can't be an artist or I can't learn this, I can't do that because I can't sit down. I don't have the time, the luxury, or my parents aren't rich. I can't just sit down and like draw for 8 hours a day. And it's like you don't have to do that. It's just like when you see people at the gym, you'll see people that are there for like 2 hours and they're walking and then they do a rep and then they stand around and talk to their bros for like 30 minutes and sip coffee versus you see the person in the corner who's like in and out in 25 minutes, and they are pushing themselves hardcore, and they're sweating, and they're all red. Like, that's the person you want to be. And it's the same way with art. It's all about intentional practice.
Definitely, yeah, you can just sit there and be like, I'm working for an hour or two and get nothing done,
Yeah.
It's um so yeah, it's definitely attention's, really key here. Um because
Hmm.
there's a YouTuber, Bobby Chill, I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah,
Um
I watch his stuff, his interviews on schoolism. Yeah.
Awesome. He has one motto on there, and it's I can't really remember it now. um oh gosh, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. Um oh, that's right. It's time and um time plus what we were saying before.
Hmm. Yeah, I get you.
Effort, and um the last one is smarts, basically. Um,
Hmm.
Having some knowledge or some direction, some way. I can't remember the third word there, but all that equals success. Um,
Yeah, that sounds dead on.
exactly. It's you need um a little bit of know-how there of what you're kind of focusing on, what you're learning, kind of a thing. Like the guy that did
Hmm.
20-30 minutes, he probably went to the gym, know what he's working on, with working on his abs or working on his upper body strength, or he went there with some
Hmm.
purpose. um he focused in, um and yeah, put his all in that time. um and yeah, it's better than just sitting there for half an hour and being like, I've done my half an hour, to actually sit there and actually do something, you know,
Yeah,
um,
totally.
and put some effort in. Um, and that's something I'm focusing on too, is just being like, oh, is this half an hour, or is this just half an hour just sitting there,
Right.
um, is it, and cutting out that time, um, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I was wondering, what is your main art interest? With art interests.
So right now, I would say my main art interest is going to be fantasy art, specifically and predominantly. I'm doing mostly Dungeons and Dragons characters. I would say that that's kind of the direction I'm going in right now. Like, I've always loved fantasy art ever since I was a kid and played video games and grew up on like JRPGs and then into like the newer era of games. Like, I always loved video games, and so the fantasy genre is really what ruled me in my heart. And I have some aspirations for like where I want to go with that, and I love the Dungeons and Dragons universe. I'm not a D&D player, just throwing that out there, and I tell all my clients that, like, no, I don't play D&D. I played it once. One of my friends back in high school, like, he asked me, I was like, okay, let me give this thing a shot, and I did it. But I really enjoy the artwork of it. I love the world, I love the lore, I love the thought, and like the endless possibilities. So it makes it really fun to draw it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I see. I know a few artists actually that do a lot of Dungeon and Dragon things. Um, One artist I know has started kind of doing, you know, playing Dungeons and Dragons, and it's how he kind of started art, as he was just doing
Mm-hmm.
his friends' characters and things like that, and started building client base from there. Um,
Yeah, there's a huge market for it, like never ending, always needs to be satisfied market for Dungeons and Dragons artwork.
yes, awesome. Cool.
It's also why I like to do it, because literally I finished one and then I got contacted like a month later, like, hey, can you know it? Yes, please. And I always ask them, like, when I'm done, like, hey, cool, can you show this off to your party? Because I know that you're not playing alone. So that's always a really cool aspect of it too. It's like you're playing with at least a few other people, so
Yeah.
maybe I can get them as a client too. So there's like a good networking aspect to it.
Yeah. And fantasy is just awesome because, dragons. Um,
Yes.
yeah, it's just awesome. I've always grown up with fantasy. Um, I think first kind of things were those dinosaur movies. I was really
Mm-hmm.
big into dinosaurs. But there was one movie, learning about it. I think Craig Mullins worked on it. I was like, oh wow. Um, Utopia, Dinotopia, or something like that.
Oh,
Um,
Dinotopia?
yeah, it
Is that
was,
it? Yeah.
yeah, that was I think the biggest one for me, back in the day.
That's cool.
Awesome. I was wondering, have you done many, YouTube or art collabs?
So I've done one in the past. So my fellow art friend, her name is Vanessa Matos, and she runs her channel, Art Business with Ness. Just to
Awesome.
plug her, I guess, for a minute.
Yep,
So
yep.
yeah, she and I are part of the same Facebook group. She actually runs a Facebook group, and it's called the Freelance Illustrators Cafe, and basically it's for freelance illustrators to come, and it's not like where you get jobs or anything like that, but just solely for networking, for learning, and stuff like that. So I did a collab with her last year, and it was actually just around this time. Now I think about it. So about exactly a year ago, I did a collaboration with her, and we talked about. She interviewed me over how commissions work, best practices, stuff like that. And then I interviewed her about how to get big corporate clients because I think that is the ladder that you eventually get into when you start to freelance.
Mm.
Aside from that, I am collaborating. I'm working on a collaboration right now for a video that I'm going to put out hopefully next month, as long as everybody can get their stuff together for it. But I'm going to do some videos for how to grow art YouTube channels and how to monetize them, because that's
Awesome.
something that I think a lot of artists would benefit from. And I think that that's kind of the mission of my channel is how do I better empower artists in order to achieve what they want. And certainly a big aspect of that is money. Like I really want to destroy this aspect of, you have to assume that you're either going to be like a god level, uh, streamer, YouTuber, or you're going to be, living in your mom's basement, working at McDonald's and
Mm.
doing, My Little Pony OCs on the side. I don't want those polarizing possibilities to be it. There's a
Mm.
lot of great things that you can do out there. So that's kind of like the mission of my channel personally.
Definitely. That sounds awesome. It's definitely a video I'll be looking out for. I could
It
always
should
use
be
tips
fun.
from
I
them.
just feel, yeah, I just
Yep,
feel like
should
there's
be fun.
not a lot of direction for artists on YouTube, and there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people do, and I've seen, and not just me, but like I watch also. I don't just watch art YouTube, but I watch like YouTube gurus, like people
Mm.
that teach you how to grow any channel, and I see there's a lot of advice that I want to give to artists on how we can do this and how you can get to
Yeah.
this level so that you can start to gain some passive income. Which, heck, don't we all want that?
Yeah. Well, it's more technical in a way because, with, these YouTube gurus and everything, it's all like, um towards YouTube videos, what is
Mm-hmm.
generally on YouTube, not always your channel, your kind of
Right.
videos you're working on. So some of the
Mm-hmm.
times the tips are like, can I do that on my video? Like, for
Yeah.
me, I'm not, I don't really use FaceTime or anything like that on my videos.
Mm-hmm.
It just creates complications for me, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll keep it to a kind of vodcast kind of a video. Um, keep
Yeah,
doing
and
it
it
to
depends
text.
on your community too, because like I thought about like, hey, should I not even show my face on camera? And I put it out to my YouTube community, and they were overwhelming me like, yes, we want to see you on camera. And I was like, okay, all right, cool.
Yeah,
That's not bad. I can handle that.
awesome. Yeah,
It is
exactly.
so much easier to edit though when it's voice only. Oh my god, it's so much easier.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and that's what I like about it. I don't have to worry about that. I can just focus on get it out there, get it all, edit if I need to. I don't even have to do
right.
much editing really. It's just a few seconds of editing after this point. Um, and that's about it.
Yeah,
I don't,
I feel
you
that.
know, I as less possible time to editing as I can really. That's what I like. Um,
Yeah.
but
I that's
yeah.
what I enjoy, like whenever I do like a sculpting video or like a physical drawing or a physical painting video, and I'm next to my recording device, I'm not on screen with it. It's always a little bit easier for that.
Mm. Awesome. But you can make these things work, I've started things
Yeah.
that I'm like, do I really want to start like say my 90-minute art challenges that I do. Um, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can work that in. It'll get like
Hmm.
things will get challenging. And in the end that is what really works for me because it levels up my skills. Um,
Yeah.
it's with these kind of 10-minute videos I was doing, with those, they could take 90 minutes, but then they
Mhm.
could take a couple of days to finish a couple of drawings or a couple of paintings or something. So it's like, oh
Hmm.
no, so with the 90 minutes, at least I know I've done 90 minutes. There it is. Um,
Yeah.
I don't have to spend 2 or 3 days maybe trying to catch up and things like that. Um, so that actually works best for me. It's not exactly a YouTube example. Oh, same. I did that with weekly tips. Um, I introduced like weekly tips at one point.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, I'll try this because I wanted a kind of a shorter video rather than just these stream videos. Um,
Hmm.
and in the end, it worked into my schedule. It actually, yeah, again, kept me improving in my art and kept me creating interesting videos and getting video at making videos. Um, so I just kept in and added in, slowly added these things in and chopped and changed things to make a good schedule, make a good YouTube channel, YouTube videos, um, and keep things going. And
Yeah, and I mean that you got to just try stuff.
mm,
Um, the more you try, the more possibilities you have to get success with it.
exactly, and it doesn't always work. Um,
Oh yeah.
there's no guarantees.
Hmm.
So just be happy with what you get out of it, Um,
Yeah.
yeah, there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees you'll do this and get 100 views or 1,000 views or 1,000 subscribers or whatever.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That's dead on accurate. I mean, it's the same thing with art. Like, there's no guarantee that you're going to make it, that you're going to be good. But it's at the end of the day, it just comes down to what's your focus going to be? Because where your focus goes, your energy flows.
exactly. Yeah, that's all comes down to that focus.
Hmm.
Um,
Definitely.
awesome. That sounds cool. Yeah, I've talked to Ness as well. She's been on this channel. Um, I sometimes chat with her every now and again and things like that. She's a great artist, mentor person, um,
Oh yeah.
and she has awesome workshops and things that I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
I tempted. One day I've got to do one of those workshops. Um,
Yeah, she does awesome stuff. She's great.
yeah. But yeah, it's just awesome. Collabing and chatting with other
Hmm.
artists from around the world and yeah, it's always helpful, it's beneficial to you, and it's beneficial to the others sometimes, and things like that. Um, yeah.
Yeah, it's great, and I mean, my new collab I'm working with Vanessa. I'm also working with some other bigger YouTubers too, bigger art YouTubers. And I don't want to say the name just in case they fall through and then I
Yeah.
overpromise or something. You know what I mean? Or it's like we
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
expecting, but they didn't show up. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit harder to obviously get the bigger people.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's how it goes.
It is very challenging. Um, yeah, a lot of the artists that I've had in, some of them are big names like, I mean, Adam Duff. I've talked to. He's
I
been on
saw that you
here.
had Adam Duff on it. I was
Um,
like, whoa, like he's huge.
yeah, and it is challenging because yeah, they are very busy. And it is possible to, chat with them and just reach out to them. Um, but yeah, it does. You do have to kind of give a little. Um,
Hmm.
you know, for him, he was like, oh, I have this time available, you know, tomorrow, half an hour or whatever. It's like, oh, yep, I'm on board. I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
that's like 3 a.m. I'm like, oh, wow. Now I'll go. I
Yeah.
would just went for it. It's like woke up early, did the stream, and it's like done. So there's a little bit of give with that. Um, you just gotta give it your all with that kind of thing sometimes.
Yeah.
If you really want it, because you're on their schedule, kind of a
Right.
thing. Um,
Absolutely.
and it's worth it in the end because he is a great guy that um I've chatted to every now and again. I might say hey and see his videos. He has an awesome channel. Um,
Yeah.
he's
Lucid Pixel.
he's had great advice for me and great advice on the channel for everyone. Um,
Hmm.
and he's a good supporter too.
Yeah, he
um,
is. Yeah. He's
yeah,
definitely someone you can learn a lot from.
yeah, he is an awesome person. So it's great to meet these artists and learn things from them and pick your brains every now and again, eh?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I've definitely made a lot of friends over the years, and some I'll be like, oh, you can just look at my art and give me a few pointers, and just like, oh wow, I didn't think of that. Um,
Right. Yeah. And it's really something all artists need critique, like at all levels. Everybody needs critique.
definitely. Oh, the same goes with YouTube. You can um critique other people's videos and things,
Hmm.
and it always can become helpful. Um,
Yeah.
hmm. Awesome. So I was wondering, do you have any interest outside of art?
So, yeah, definitely. I love video games. Like, video games always been my thing. Like, I don't have enough time to do them much anymore. Like, I'm happy if I can fit it in my schedule like once a week
Yeah.
nowadays. I'm like really busy. I have like a lot of clients I take on, do YouTube. I have school. I have work. I have my family. Most importantly, across all that too. So, like, if I can hammer out like a couple hours a week to sit down and like pick up my PS4, I'm a happy camper. Doesn't always happen, but that let's see. Other than that, like I love anime. I love watching anime. Like
Awesome.
all different types and genres, cool stuff like that. I'm also big into to exercise and fitness, like being outdoors. So yeah, I have a lot of interests.
Awesome. That sounds great. Um, yeah. I love video games too as well. But again, I don't get to play them a lot. Um, Sometimes half an hour a night if I'm lucky. Um,
Yeah.
other times none at all for like 2 or 3 weeks. Um,
Yeah, it makes me like miss the day when like 30 minutes meant something in a game. Now it's like, well, I just chatted with that character for 30 minutes. Oh, it's time for bed.
yeah, yeah.
Like, depending on what kind of game you're playing, it's like, it doesn't even do anything. I mean, you play Dark Souls for a half an hour and just get pissed off right before you go to sleep. And
Mm,
it's like, I hate that game. I'm going to try it again tomorrow.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes I can just grind, just or like Dark Souls, you just level up
Mhm.
for half an hour or whatever,
Yeah.
and do it again the next day, and just keep going until you're ready to progress. And then when I've got a little bit more time, then it's like I can do this part.
Yeah.
Um,
What
but
kind of games are your favorite? What are your favorite
um,
types of games that you're reaching for?
so Kingdom Hearts was my biggest one.
Oh, I
Um,
love Kingdom Hearts. I have not played the third one yet, which I know is like shameful, but I have not played that one. I've not gotten around to it.
I've just playing through it now. Slowly.
Yeah.
I'm about a fourth way through, and now I've stopped because I've been busy. Um, I might play some this weekend, maybe if I'm lucky. We'll
Hmm.
see how things go. But yeah, and for me, I like skateboarding, so yeah, I try and jam that in every now and again as well. Bit of
That's cool.
exercise out there. So yeah,
That's cool.
awesome. So that's been you and me, Sean. Check out Sean's work on Instagram here, as well as his
Hmm.
YouTube channel. Your links are on your Instagram, as well as some links down in the description. Keep drawing, everyone. Um, any last words? Last things?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. You can connect with me best on my Instagram or on my YouTube channel, The Art Mentor.
Awesome. Keep drawing, keep creating, and see you in the next video.